Hi there, and welcome to Ian's Ngauge channel. I'm Ian. Here we are at the end of April, and it's time to talk new arrivals again. So, let's get on with it. Firstly, it's been a very long wait, but it's finally here. It's the Farish V2. I've gone for a sound-fitted version in BR lined green livery with late crest and named the Durham Light Infantry, which I purchased from Derails. Sir Nigel Gresley's V2 was a true all-rounder. While the famous A4s were built for speed, the V2 was designed for versatility, handling everything from fast freight to heavy passenger duties. They were the mainstay of the East Coast Main Line, providing a level of utility that few other designs could match. But what about the model? It features a coreless motor that incorporates a flywheel, while power is distributed via electrical pickups that are fitted to all driving and tender wheels. Driver and tender axles also feature metal bearings to reduce wear and tear from friction over time. There's an X18 decoder socket located in the tender, with sound-fitted versions having a Zimo sound decoder installed. There's a speaker fitted inside the tender of all versions of the model, whether it's sound-fitted or not. Curiously, my tender had two small screws magnetically attached to the circuit board inside the tender. So evidently somebody slipped up in the quality assurance department, as those were a short circuit waiting to happen. I obviously removed them, but I wonder how many people open up their locos before powering them on. The loco has a heavy die-cast metal chassis providing plenty of weight to enable it to haul heavy loads, as per the prototype. The body of the loco is high-precision injection moulded and features lots of detail. There are also lots of separately fitted parts, including metal handrails and buffers along with etched nameplates. The printed details are wonderful, with the running number and late crest looking particularly fine. I'm even positive that if I squint hard enough, I'll eventually be able to read the build plate. The lining around the boiler and on the tender is excellent, and is extremely well applied. The modelling of the coal load, however, leaves a lot to be desired. On the footplate though, there's some absolutely amazing detail on the boiler backhead, with painted pipes, gauges and levers all being represented. Driver and fireman seats are also nicely modelled and are inviting me to add a couple of figures for completeness. It really is superb. If all this is not enough, there's also an accessory pack to add further detail to the loco. Straight out of the box, the loco has one set of driving wheels fitted with traction tyres, but if that's not your thing, the accessory pack contains an extra set of driving wheels for you to fit without traction tyres, and the instruction sheet tells you how to do this. I will of course review the model properly after I've owned it a few months, but my first impressions are that I think Farish have outdone themselves, and have set a new standard for N-gauge steam locomotives. Oh, and as well as the model, Derails also included some lovely tasting ginger nut biscuits in the box. Yum. The next new arrival is from Buggles-Kelly Station, and it's the first private owner wagon I've purchased in quite some time. You may remember that before my brake van addiction took over, I suffered from private owner wagon addiction, and I think it may be resurfacing. The wagon in question is made by Dapple, and has merchant branding of A.W. Dry & Company, which is a nod to the author of the Railway series of books, namely Reverend Wilbert Awdry. The wagon is well constructed, featuring finely moulded details that appear to be nice and crisp. The livery application is excellent, and the light blue colouring makes the wagon stand out on track. Lettering has been well applied, and the smaller type can be read with the help of some magnification. Inside the wagon, a coal load has been supplied that's actually quite nicely modelled. Under the chassis detail is non-existent, and it should be noted that the wagon does not have NEM coupling pockets, which maybe isn't surprising for a low production run model. The wagon does, however, run nicely on its metal wheels. Not to be outdone on the food front, there was also a yummy chocolate included in the box from Buggles-Kelly Station, but it didn't last too long past this photo shoot. The next new arrival is another Dapple wagon, and this time it's a GWR gunpowder van in BR black with factory weathering. This is part of a new run of recently released gunpowder wagons from Dapple, although the tooling remains the same as for the previous run. The van has fine body mouldings, with details such as rivets, corner plates, door hinges and panel details being very crisp. Livery application is excellent and uses tampo printing to achieve sharp, high-definition lettering and graphics. These details are somewhat obscured by the factory weathering, which of course you'd expect. Below the wagon there are free running metal wheels which provide excellent running characteristics. However, like the Bugglescully station wagon, there's no detail underneath, although as I rarely look at the bottom of my rolling stock, that doesn't particularly concern me. What does concern me, considering this is a new run, and it's 2026, is that the coupling system hasn't been updated, and there are no NEM coupling pockets, which is very frustrating. Despite that, I think the gunpowder van will make a dynamite addition to the Ledgetown Quarry area of Shortington. Next up is an addition to my growing fleet of buses. It's an Oxford diecast AEC Region 5 bus, often referred to as a Queen Mary, and it's carrying the classic red and cream OK Motor Services livery. I have to admit that I'd forgotten all about the existence of OK Motor Services in the North East, until I came across their name in one of the bus books I purchased earlier this year. As soon as I saw the name, memories came flooding back, and a quick search online revealed this little beauty. It's a lovely model and up to Oxford Diecast's usual excellent standards. The only modification I'm tempted to make is the destination board. While it's currently set to Evanwood, which is where OK Motor Services was based, I'd rather it was going to Durham, which is where I encountered them most often. The next new arrival is an ATD Models card kit of a Mess Hutton store intended to reside at a traction maintenance depot. I purchased this kit to go alongside the single road TMD workshop that I purchased early this year, and which is also made by ATD Models. Like that kit, this one also includes some sturdy card building materials and some glazing options. It also comes with some excellent instructions. I think that the two kits will look great together on Shortington TMD. Next up is some bathing sand for Harry the Hamster, Jerry the Gerbil, Charlie the Chinchilla, or any other small rodent you care to name. I've seen quite a few people experimenting with this type of sand for ballasting track recently. In particular, I'm thinking of Jonathan at Endor and John at Exhaven Harbour. Hi guys, if you're watching. It turns out that this stuff can make really good, realistic looking ballast, especially once it's been weathered, and it's way cheaper than purchasing the proper nscale stuff. Not sure why sand has an expiration date though. Of course, I'm nowhere near the stage of needing to ballast track yet, but I do like a good experiment. And having purchased a JNA Falcon ballast wagon last month, I thought it would be fun to try and make a ballast load for it. Anyway, my plan is to experiment making loads using different materials and compare them to see which one looks best. So, watch this space for a future video on the subject. The final new arrivals this month are some spools of 3D printer filament by Elegoo. I'd been racing through my stock of filament recently, so when a deal came up on Amazon to purchase 4 rolls of PLA matte for 40 quid, I jumped on it. I've gone for a black spool, which always comes in handy, slate grey, which I'm wondering if I can use to create a new roof for the Poly Minitrix brake van that I picked up at Bournemouth Model Railway Exhibition. The next filament is a beautiful ice blue, which I don't actually have a use in mind for. I just really love the colour. And finally, there's some beige, as I've got 60 Loco box drawers to print, and I think that the beige coloured drawers are a good match for the plain MDF WWC Nix box. And in related news, I had a spring clean over Easter and tidied up my airing cupboard. which, as well as towels and bed linen, is now the perfect home for my spools of filament. While I was putting the finishing touches to this video, there was another April arrival. It's a DCC ready Dapple Class 33 that I'd had on pre-order for around a year. I've only had time to take a few photos of the loco so far, but I'll cover it in more depth during next month's new arrivals video. Right, here's a quick running session featuring many of the new arrivals. Okay, let's wrap this up. I've waited a very long time for the Farish V2 to turn up, but it was well worth the wait. It looks and sounds amazing, and runs superbly, and I have to say it's got to be the best ready to run steam loco I've ever seen in nscale. The Skelly AW dry wagon has reignited my passion for private owner wagons, so I'm pretty sure that my collection will be growing further this year. The Dapple gunpowder van is a good addition to the fleet and will eventually look great stored away in a siding at Ledgetown Quarry. The Oxford diecast Queen Mary bus with OK Motor Services livery was a real blast from the past, and it was great to have my memory jogged by that iconic operator name. The ATD models Mess Hut and Store are designed to be teamed up with their TMD workshop on Shortington TMD, so they should be the perfect fit for one another. Experimenting with making ballast loads with the small rodent bathing sand sounds like a lot of fun, so hopefully I'll get onto that in the coming weeks or months, or probably years. Finally, you can never have enough spools of 3D printer filament, so coming across such a great deal on Amazon was brilliant luck. So, do you have any of the items I've shown in this video? And if so, what have your experiences been with them? Good, bad or indifferent, please let me know what you think in the comment section. In the meantime, thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully there'll be more new arrivals to report on in the coming months. Bye!